thank you for the background Christmas music.
My pleasure.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Lots of things going on this time of year. Welcome everyone, glad you're here. Still can't hear in the back? Sergio still here? Maria's gone to turn it up. Maybe if I speak.
It's good now.
That good? Okay, thank you. Too loud. Thank you, Charlie. Okay, we do have a quorum, and I want to recognize two board members that are here. Diane Williams, if you would stand, and Diana Denito. These are two of our board members. Welcome. Thank you all for your work for us. We appreciate you so much. Okay, and now we'll go to our agenda and have a moment of remembrance. Okay, thank you. And then on your agenda, we have a recognition of our new move-ins. Any of you all that are here, if you will raise your hand and let us recognize you. Good, great. A few people here, thank you. Thank you all for being here. Welcome. And then you will notice that you have on the minutes, we have both the second quarter and the third quarterly meetings, minutes. And we did not hand out the second quarter minutes last time. And there were a couple of errors in there, so we have both handed them out to you again with a couple of typo kinds of changes. And so I'm going to call on Kathy McIntyre to be available if there are any questions or comments. And if there aren't, then she moves that we have approval of the 2 minutes.
Is there a second?
Is there a second?
Where's Paul?
Beth Nilsson moves the second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay? They pass. Thank you. And now I'll call on Sharon Verlander. See if that mic has warmed up. I couldn't get it. If not, I'll give you this one.
What do you want me to do? Nothing's happening. Is this working?
I'm going to give you this one.
Hello. Thank you. For the new residents, I guess since the third quarterly meeting, my name is Sharon Verlander. I'm the treasurer of the WRA. I'm responsible for the funds of the WRA. In your packet, you will find, in my mind, it's backwards. The balance sheet should be first, and then the P&L through November should be next. Anybody have any questions that I can answer about either one of these documents?
Any questions?
If there's no questions, then I'm going to move for acceptance.
Is there a second? Charlie's moved to second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay.
On the agenda, It also says that I am presenting the 2025 budget. It is not attached. So I can give you a brief, what I want to tell you, synopsis of what it is. At the November Executive Committee meeting, the Executive Committee approved the 2025 budget that had been submitted by the Finance Committee of the WRA. The budget included $7,500 in grants that we will give out in 2025. And it also included $16,000 in expenses for the committees and the WRA. We have an office, we buy certain supplies. All of the committees, there's a few exceptions, have a budget. If you would like to see a copy of the budget, I'm in the directory. You can call me, email me, text me. Depending on where you live, if you're way on the other end in the Carlisle, I probably won't walk it over. But if you'd like to see a copy of it, I'll be happy to get it to you. Just let me know. I can't move for an acceptance because you haven't seen it, but I don't need
No, we don't.
it was approved by the Executive Committee. Dr. Lukash, you really look at me like you have a question. No? Thank you. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Okay, the next order of business is what you've all been waiting for. It's the election of the Executive Committee new members for 2025. And I'm going to call on Kathy McIntyre. And while she's coming, just explain that I have not heard any complaints or anyone wishing to challenge any of the nominees that the nominating committee came up with, but you don't have to tell me ahead of time. If you want to, you can stand up in this meeting and make your motion, and then we will act on it. So there's still the opportunity if someone wants to make a change. So Kathy.
I've been chair of the nominating committee this year, and there are 4 of us, and I want to recognize the other members of the nominating committee. Andrea Magnus, if you're here, please stand. Mary Brooks, Ray Orback. The 4 of us worked together for 5 weeks choosing a slate, and it was a very good working team. I think we all, I won't say we had fun, but we moved it along. We got nominations, and we got a resume from everybody who wanted to be considered, and we had more applicants than nominees, which is a good thing to have, because it shows you have a vibrant community. So we had 7 positions to fill. And we think we did a fair and a very open method of selection. I'd like you to be able to see who you're going to vote for. So if the nominees are here, I'll read their names. Would they please come up and stand on the stage? Then they'll be in the video, and they'll be high enough that you can see them. So I'll read the names. Andy Reeves for secretary. Designated member John McGee, who's not here today. Member Lodge Nancy Collins, Abby Koenigsberg, and Member Lodge Robert Juarez. If you please come up and stand on this, well, I guess maybe you can stand here. Robert Juarez, Charles McEwen, and Kate Bourgeois.
Maria, can you adjust the cameras? so that you can get all of these folks in.
What's up here?
I guess go down because everybody else is.
We're gonna adjust the camera. Okay, so Andy Reeves is not here, John is not here. Oh, there's Andy, thank you. Nancy, Abby, Robert, Charlie, and Kay. These are the nominees that were proposed for the positions on your handout. So Kathy is moving for the acceptance of this slate, including the the one that's not here.
I move we elect the slate by acclamation.
Okay. Okay, and a second. And all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Outstanding. Thank you all for your service and your willingness to serve, and thank you to this committee.
Thank you, Mom.
At the next quarterly meeting, we'll be recognizing the people that are rotating off out of those positions in a more formal way, but Kathy McIntyre has been our secretary and rotates off for Andy. Bob Rudehauser has been our at-large member, our designated member, and then the at-large that rotated off was Tom Osley, and the other two-year at-large were Phyllis Waddle and Paul Youngdale. So we want to thank them at the well, it'll be the first quarterly meeting of this next year. We'll actually give them some certificates and have them up here to be recognized for their years of service in many cases. So, thank you so much to that committee. They interviewed everyone and just did an outstanding job. So we look forward to working with these folks. Okay, we'll move down to the President's report, and Cynthia Leach, if you'll come forward. This is it. This is it. You all.
My name is Cynthia Leach. I live in the Windsor building and have since September. Can you? Okay, let's try again. My name is Cynthia Leach. I live in the Windsor and have since September of 2015. I'm the liaison between the Westminster Residents Association and the Austin Community College Foundation. The Westminster Residents Association established an endowed scholarship at ACCF in December of 2021. This year's WRA match was successfully achieved, and Julie Brooks and her volunteers held a style show recently to raise funds for our scholarship endowment. In addition, many of you donated throughout the year. I'm very pleased to announce that our current ACCF scholarship balance is $81,738.50. Thanks to the many of you who have given, and I do have cards and envelopes if anybody needs to do so before the end of the year, or money burning holes in their pockets. Now, for the best part, this year's scholarship recipient name is Ashley Figueroa. She's a vocational nursing major. And I want to read you two things real quick. This is a note of thanks for her. I'd like to thank the Westminster Residents Association for their generosity and assistance in my journey to become a nurse. I was hesitant to start the nursing program because of being a single mother and working full-time. It was a very difficult decision to step down from my current job and focus on school full-time. It is with resources such as the one you have blessed me with that will help me succeed. I'm so grateful for this opportunity. I would not be able to do it without help such as yourselves. I hope to give back to the community once I graduate and become a nurse. I cannot thank you enough for this reward. It's a true blessing. And then a little bit about her. I'm 32 years old, born and raised in Austin. I first attended ACC during my pregnancy with my daughter back in 2010 to 2012. I was working full-time and also doing school full-time to become a nurse. I was not able to provide financially for both and ended up dropping out of college. I returned to ACC in 2022 with a much better support system and got into the LVN program this year. With my family support system and all the great resources, I've been able to work part-time and attend school full-time. I'm passing all of my classes and learning and growing more than ever. I'm very thankful to be in a position where I can fully focus on school and work on succeeding. Once I graduate, I plan to either be a long-term health or specialize in telemetry. And she's an AC major in vocational nursing. Very proud of that. Thanks to all of you.
Are there any questions for Cynthia? There's a question for you, Cynthia.
She get $2,500. That covers a full year of tuition.
$2,500 for the full year of tuition is how much she gets. We don't select the people, we give the money. ACC has a rigorous process. We do say what type of area we would like the person to be in. Okay, any other questions? Yes, sir. Yes.
Would it be possible to leave the envelope like at the reception desk in the various buildings?
Okay, Cynthia?
We tried that and it didn't work, but you can call me. I have it to your apartment within an hour to a day, I promise, under your door. Yeah, no, we tried it. They got lost in their files. They didn't find, it was, we tried it at the very beginning and it just didn't work at all. So that's why, I'll be glad, to share with you if you have other friends that, here that could get them from you. Yes, ma'am.
Hi, I was just wondering, with such a large balance, why we're only giving $2,500?
This is an endowed scholarship. They take the money that we donate, they invest it. They try to get at least 3% return. Lately it's been around 4%, and that's what we're allowed to give in the way of scholarships. We don't tell them. It's based on, the fund and what it earns.
Who is that?
Austin Community College Foundation.
Thank you.
And you can go online and read, about our scholarship and how they operate too. They've been very successful. But again, for those that are new, we are the only senior living facility in Austin with a scholarship program like this at the Austin Community College Foundation. So I'm very proud of that too. I think we're leading the way. Thank you.
Okay, any other questions? Thank you for your interest. Thank you for your contributions. Sue Gilliam, security necklaces.
Okay, I am Sue, and I've been taking care of the security necklaces. Have everybody read my article in the Banner? If you haven't, please go ahead and read it, because I'm getting tired of telling you about these necklaces every time. And I'm sure you're getting tired of me.
Never.
Thanks to Camille. Okay. The article saves me repeating myself and you from hearing me plead with you. You can keep the ribbon lanyard, pick up a free bead necklace, or pay to have a wristband for your emergency button. Anyone, however fit, can fall. Why wait till you need? Get used to wearing your emergency button before you need it. And I think in the article I told you you can wear it in the shower, you can wear it in bed. Because when you get up in the middle of the night, or when you're taking a shower, that's when we're most vulnerable. The beading angels have been at work, and we have a good selection over here today on the left. So come and see me later. Thank you.
Thank you, Sue. Sue's table is right over here for for anyone that wants to come afterward and pick out a necklace or a bracelet or whatever. Roland?
Hello, folks. My name is Roland Cook, and I'm the current chair of the Residents Appreciation Fund. First off, I need to thank you folks for an outrageous success on raising money for the fund this year. We set a goal about 2 notches ahead of where we were last year. We didn't quite meet the goal as of the date we handed out the checks, but since then, going up through December 15, we have comfortably exceeded that goal, and that money will be available for next year. So I really appreciate all you're doing. This is just a big moment. The people who have donated cut across the wide spectrum. We had money from the people not in-house who gave the full amount. We had contributions made from guests who visited the apartments or who sat in the dining rooms, and they appreciated what they saw from the staff, and they made the donations, and they added up to a nice amount. We had one other goal which we met, and that is to say that each person in the top tier of our associates, meaning full-time for 1 year or more, would receive $1,000. We met that goal. You know, this fund is a great way to say thank you to the associates. They are so dedicated. They show up 24/7. They're here around the clock. Some of them, there's always somebody here around the clock. So we have a wonderful opportunity to say thank you, and this is how we've done it. And again, thank you for all the residents who made this possible and so successful. Thank you. Thank you, one last thing. I won't introduce the people on the committee this year, but it's in the handout that most of you probably just received. Thanks.
Okay. Good job. Thanks, everybody, for donating. Chuck, we're ready for the Chuck report.
Okay. So, one really neat thing, there's a lot of neat things about Westminster, right? But another really great thing is that Westminster has 3 voting residents on our board, which is very unusual in senior living. I want to honor Mr. Rudishauser for his 2 years of service on the big board at Westminster. Have a plaque for you, if you would accept that on behalf of the board of directors, and thank you very much. If you'd like, I can bring it to you. I can bring it to you. Thank you, sir.
There we go.
There we go.
One more. Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
I think many of you are familiar with the activities of the Residents Association. And I'd like to say a little bit about the work of the board. Those of you that attended a presentation on Westminster's finances about 10 days ago came to the conclusion, I'm sure, that we are very fortunate in our financial position, and using publicly available data to residents gave us a good glimpse of why, being here, we're in a much better financial position than other both for-profit and not-for-profit organizations providing similar services are in. I'd just like to say a couple of things about the board that may not be familiar to people. We have an outstanding board, and one of the reasons I think the board is so effective is that each committee chair is somebody who's an expert at dealing day-to-day with the problems that they face. For example, the 3 committees that I've served on, the food committee is headed by one who is a manager of 4 restaurants in Austin. The facilities committee is headed by one who is a senior manager in a construction company here in Austin. And the finance committee is headed by someone who's the head of the Austin office of his organization, provides financial and estate planning advice to lots of clients. So we have people on the board that meet and have experience in just dealing with day-to-day problems and can help us with practical solutions to those problems. It's a very effective board. And the other reason I think it's so effective is we have very good participation involved. Almost every meeting is well attended. Rarely do we have absences. And the people that provide all this help get the great compensation of a free meal while they're having a board meeting for 2 hours. So when you see board meetings through here or elsewhere, give them a vote of thanks, because they do a wonderful job for us, and I think we can all be grateful for their good work. We have 2 of them here today, and I'd like to say thanks to each of you for your help over the past year.
Thank you, sir. So, how are we doing? Are you holidayed out yet? That doesn't happen, does it? All right, so in summary of hopefully you all received a letter in your cubbies with the increase. So a lot goes into budgeting every year. One of the things I talked about when we started to build the Carlisle was that we were going to try and diversify our portfolio, our revenue, right, coming in, because in the past it's been heavily, well, really, it was depending on independent living revenue, right? That's where the bulk of it was coming. And what we hoped to do with the Carlisle was to create some assisted living revenue and some healthcare revenue. We're really good at rehabilitation, as some of you have experienced, some of your friends. But we have a pretty tight budget. 2024, we have a total of, the occupancy we're hoping for is 349. In independent living, assisted living around 35. So you can see in every level of care, we have some empty rooms always available for life care residents. Memory care, we hope to run around 88%. The Arbor around 79, 80. The 2025 budgeted revenue, you can see, some of you that have been here a long time, maybe even 5 years ago, almost all of that pie was blueberries. And now we've got some orange in there, which is a healthcare segment that's getting bigger for us. And then the assisted living and memory care segments are getting larger. So it's helping bring in revenue. So the Carlisle is generating revenue like we hoped it would, which is a good thing for all of us. And that's one of the things that's helped us keep our monthly service fee increase down to 3%, because we have these additional revenues coming in. We're always going to prioritize you all, life care residents, for any of our units, any of our beds, anywhere. So please understand that, but while we're able to run at 95, 94% occupied, it helps all of us meet our expenses. Out of curiosity, I thought it'd be a cool slide to show what percentage each department is in expenses. And you can see that we really like food here at Westminster. And that's 25% of our budget. That's wages and raw food included. So the food and beverage department is 115 associates. It's our largest department. But if you think about, they're running 3 restaurants, and then assisted living and healthcare dining as well. So that's a lot of kitchens, a lot of dining rooms. Health center is right behind them with 22%, G&A 20%, and plant 14%. So key assumptions into 2025 budget was a 3% increase in IL monthly fees, a 3% increase in second person monthly fees, 4% increase on small inventory entrance fees. So that's apartments 650 square feet or smaller. And then a 4% increase on large inventory, which is anything that's 651 square feet or larger. 3% increase in the assisted living daily rate, 3% increase in the Arbor daily rate, and a 3.5% increase in wages in 2025. Our capital expense budget for 2025 is going to be $4.7 million. That's another blessing of living at Westminster. Yes, we have a strong financial footing, but we're also reinvesting in our campus constantly. And some of the big projects for 2025, we plan to replace the Preston furniture and the corridors. Windsor and Preston elevators are going to get hydraulic coolers, so that should help maintain their useful life. The Preston cooling tower is getting some maintenance and upgrades. VFD, which is a variable frequency drive replacements for both the Preston and the Windsor. The healthcare center wheelchair bus is going to be replaced. It's 2010, so it's probably past its prime. Isle apartment refurbishments, that's about $1.1 million. Common areas paint refresh, that's corridors mainly, dining rooms, gathering spaces like this, all of those. Anybody care to guess how much we spend in painting every year? Corridors. Try to be careful with those walkers and wheelchairs, will you? It's about $500,000 in paint. Painting is a good business to get into if you think about it. Preston HVAC plumbing replacement project. We've talked about, this is the C wing of the Preston. We won't start that project until January. So historically, our increases for Westminster versus the industry, I just wanted to show you this. I try to update this slide every year. You can see that you're saving a little bit of money by living here at Westminster. And I think that you're living in one of the best senior living communities in the country. So you have that too. So 2025, you can see Westminster's 3%, Corinthia is 4.1, Longhorn Village is 4.7, Village at the Triangle 6%, and the industry average is around 7%. And our friends mediocre living across the street, I think might be 10. We'll see. Did I say mediocre living again, Sarah? That was tape 2. Okay, well. Some updates. The Preston Boiler Project work is underway. That project should be completed by the end of December or early January. The HVAC for the kitchen has been replaced. That's been completed. We have some duct work to do there though. Preston sprinkler system. We have a bid process that's underway. We only received 1 bid, but we had 2 other parties interested, so we're reaching out to them to try and get a competitive bid. I do want to tell you that I know the fire alarm goes off quite often, especially in the Preston because of the work that's being done over there. Sprinkler systems don't work quite that bad. If the fire alarm goes off, it doesn't mean that the sprinkler goes off, right? That's a good thing. Because if it did, we'd all be wet about every day. Please be careful with your toast and oatmeal. Make sure that you don't cook it for more than 3 minutes. 30 minutes is way too long and you will burn the other projects. So elevator, the service elevator work was completed. I had said that I wanted to wait on the number 2 elevator until after the holidays, but they told us it was going to cost us $25,000 to stop. So we went ahead and moved forward with that. That elevator is going to be down for about 6 to 8 weeks. If for some reason you need to, you can use the service elevator, okay? And the associates are expecting that. The Federal Pacific Breaker Project started in December with shutdowns, right, of the Preston, and the power came back on. It worked like it should. It was a little faster than we thought it would be. It's about 60% complete. Did anybody see the new switches that were sitting in the Preston courtyard? They were beautiful, gray, big metal boxes. Not much has changed, but those are new compared to the 55-year-old ones. So. But they'll be new. Preston HVAC plumbing replacement project for C Wing will begin January the 2nd. Okay, that's when we take down the ceiling grid and we replace the pipes that are in the hall that run that corridor. We're going to be building pipes into the corridor. Windsor Solar Grid is online. We received a rebate check of $268,000, which is cool. It's one of those things that you were told it was gonna happen, but you actually received the check and you kind of relaxed a little bit that it did happen. Carlisle is pending inspection, but it's ready to go. Just a little reminder, so the cost of the project was $972,000. We're receiving credits, rebates of $156,000 and basically $500,000. So the whole project cost us $317,380. And the estimated savings for the project is $1.9 million over the next 20 years. We will save $75,000 a year in utility costs while producing 675,000 kilowatt hours and reducing our carbon footprint by more than 479 metric tons of CO2 per year. That's pretty good. And we're the only senior living community with a solar grid on our buildings. So tell your friends they should put solar on their buildings, right? One of the things I talked about in my newsletter article this month was taking care of the people, right? And I think that this place is beautiful because of that. There's a courteous respect that the residents show the associates and the associates show the residents. That makes us an extraordinary place. And I love awards and accolades, but it's the care of the residents and the associates that is most important to me. And because we care for each other and we do the right things towards each other, that in turn, we receive awards and accolades. People first, right? We did receive some new awards. I'm going to tell you what they are. We received the J.D. Power Award for the 6th year. We also received notice that we will receive the 2025 U.S. News and World Report Best Nursing Home Award for long-term and short-term stays. Because of you and your support, we'll wait till the end. Because of you and your support, we're top fundraiser for Alzheimer's Texas, raising more than $168,000. We are the top LCS fundraiser for Fight Against Alzheimer's. That's company-wide, 150 communities, and LCS. And we were deficiency-free in our assisted living just last week. So if you see anybody in assisted living, compliment them on that. We truly are extraordinary together. Happy holidays.
Thank you so much, Chuck, and Merry Christmas. Okay, just a few announcements. First of all, the sing-along tonight. We'll have hot chocolate, hot cider, and cookies, and that's at 7:15 here, Harrisville Hall. In the back of the room, journals are for sale, so if you want to buy some Christmas presents, some journals to give as Christmas presents, they're back there holding them up. And then we have along the wall, on the left-hand side, we have 18 committees, and you have a packet that was handed out to you. It gives you information about the mission of each of the committees, who the leadership is, who the members are, something about their accomplishments will be posted in our annual report of committees, which will be approved by the executive committee tomorrow, and then that will be posted on our portal. And so now it's time to take advantage of the happy hour and go back and talk to folks about a committee if you're interested in and you'd like to sign up. And thank you all for coming. You are adjourned.
If you get a chance on Wednesday at 2, we'll have a chat in here. I hope you all participate. Thank you.